Hello and welcome to Katrinas Creations. Today I will be doing a video on all of my knitted and crocheted tees. These would be short-sleeved summer tops that I wear that are knitted and crocheted. If I can remember who did the pattern, I will let you know. Yeah, I've got them in a pile over here in front of me. I did not realize how many summer tees I have. I have a lot. What a nice problem to have. I actually have more. It looks like I have more summer tees than I do winter sweaters, so we might have to correct that. So I'm going to try to group them based on the pattern, because several of them I have made the same pattern numerous times, and I'll show you how you can do a lot of versatility using the same pattern. So we'll start with that one. The first pattern is going to be the Flax Sweater by Tin Can Knits. Now it's a free pattern on Tin Can Knits. They have quite a few of their patterns that are free. It is a knitted top. It is intentionally made as a long sleeved, but all the ones I'm going to show you, I made them short sleeved. The pattern comes in several different yarn weights. It comes in the Flax Light, which is a fingering weight, and it comes in a Flax DK, and then it comes in just the flax, which is a worsted weight. But the patterns are all the same, but they've actually written it according to the weight of the yarn. So this first one is just the flax, which was worsted weight yarn or sport weight, I forget which. But this is done in Brava Stripe. It's an acrylic, and that is from Knit Picks. And this particular sweater has a detailing along the sleeve here of garter stitch. So you can see that. Yeah, there you can see it. Sometimes when I have knit this sweater, I put that on there. Other times I don't. Most of the time I don't. I did it on this one just for something different. But it is a basic raglan sweater. You can see it has the raglan edge along here. It is very, very easy to do if you are a beginning knitter or this is your very first sweater that you've ever tried. This is a good one to do. It has ribbing at the neck, and it has ribbing at the sleeves, and ribbing at the bottom. And like I said, it is a very good pattern to do. And if you do it with the worsted weight, which would be just the flax pattern, it goes really quick for your first time to make a sweater. So this is a definite recommend for a first sweater project. So I've used this same pattern and made several other sweaters, but modified them. So I'm going to show you some of my other modifications of this. Here is one in orange. I did not do the sleeve thing with it. This is a bamboo yarn. I think it was Lana Grossa. And this one I altered a little bit. You will see I put beading all the way across, but otherwise it's the same pattern. And I wanted the neck a little tighter up along here, so I actually crocheted along the edge just to do something a little different. And I also crocheted, see if I can, it's a little rolled here. I crocheted along the bottom here to give it a little bit of a different edge. So here is the other one. Then you can tell I like this pattern. I have made it a total of 4 times. And that doesn't include the long sleeve version that I have. This one is the exact same pattern, but I just incorporated a little color work. I just figured it out on my own and adjusted it. It's a very simple color work of squares and zigzags. This is in a linen bamboo, and then I needed a little extra length for this, and again I just wanted to change the pattern a little bit, so I crocheted this edging, which is a fans and well, I knitted the fans and feathers and then I crocheted onto the edge there. So that is that one, and then the last one I have of the flax is this one, and this is just a basic. Again, I didn't do the garter on the sleeve, but it's just the basic sweater. And this was done by, I think it's called Summer Kiss. It's a yarn from Lion Brand that's no longer available. And it does feel very nylon-y. I don't know how else to describe it. It feels it's comfortable to wear, and it washes well and everything, but it doesn't feel like an acrylic. It has a definite nylon feel to it. It's not uncomfortable or anything. It just feels a little different. So that is this one. So those are the 4, and this one I did not do any modifications to. In fact, this, I take it back, this was not actually done originally as a flax light. It was called an all-season tea, and I forget where that was from. It was Lion Brand, might have been Lion Brand, or it might have been, I don't know, it was on some other website maybe. It was a free pattern, but it is basically, if you look at it, it's just your basic raglan sweater. It's identical to the flax light, which is why I got it mixed up. But yeah, it's the exact same pattern. So those are my flax sweaters. Now I'll show you some crocheted ones. This first one I wear like crazy. This is the Calaheo. This is a Expression Fiber Arts pattern. When I got it, it was free. If you're not familiar with Expression Fiber Arts, she is a yarn dyer, and every Friday they release a free knitted and a free crochet pattern that you can download. So some of my patterns I've gotten from there, and they're really, really nice patterns. This one, I actually made another sweater out of this too, and I ended up ripping it out because it was too heavy. But this is out of Yarn Bee Cotton Blend from Hobby Lobby. So I'll hold this up so you can see it. It's kind of an ecru color with like little speckles of different colors in it. And I have some more of this yarn upstairs that I will work on next year for these sweaters, but I wear this one to death. I mean, it's comfortable. It's a very easy crochet. I did add the scallops along the top just because I thought it looked pretty, so I put it on the sleeves, and then I also put it along the bottom just because I thought it gave it a little bit feminine touch to it. It's all done in half double crochet. If I remember rightly, it's all half double crochet. But yeah, I love this one. This is another yarn that washes up really nice. It doesn't shrink a whole lot, which is nice too. But yeah, I love this pattern. It's very, very figure flattering. It was very easy to make because you basically started at the top and you just kept getting wider and wider to account for the sleeves. Then you tied off the sleeves and then you went down from there. So it was a very easy pattern, and if I could do it, anybody can do it. So yeah, I like this one a lot. Now I have another knitted pattern, and I don't remember the name of this pattern. I think it was an Expression Fiber Arts. This is the most expensive sweater I've ever made because this yarn is hedgehog fibers. So I bought 3 skeins of graduated yarn. So it started with white with a little bit of black, and then it got to kind of a half and half mix, and then at the bottom it was more black than white, and so it kind of gradiated down. This is super soft. It is wool, but it's not so heavy. It's a fingering weight. It's not so heavy that it's hot to wear in the summertime or anything. It's very comfortable. I like this pattern. It is very, again, figure flattering. I like ones that kind of flow almost like an A-line. You can see the drape in this just by my doing this. It's really nice, but this sweater cost me $90. Actually a little bit more, because hedgehog fiber is, I believe it's Irish yarn. I bought it at a yarn shop up in Maine, and it runs about 30 something, I think it was $30 or $32 per skein, and it took not all of this. I mean, I had leftovers of these colors, which I used for other things, but still, this is my most expensive sweater I've ever made. So I basically only wear it to church. I don't wear it around the house where I'm going to spill something on it, because that would make me absolutely sick. But anyway, that's my most expensive sweater. Next, I have a crocheted sweater here. This is a little heavy. I would not do this. I think there was a pattern to it, but I don't remember. It was free, whatever. If it was, I don't think it was a pattern I came up with. but it is basically shell stitch, which is kind of heavy and dense for a summer weight sweater. But this is, again, I think it's Hobby Lobby yarn. It's pretty, it's comfortable to wear, but it does feel a little toasty when I wear it. So when I got to the sleeves on this, I actually changed it, and instead of doing it in the shell stitch, because as dense as this was, I was afraid my sleeves would stand out instead of kind of hanging down. So I did like a mesh on the sleeves. But because I definitely like sleeves. I don't like sleeveless because I have bat wings and I don't need those flapping around. So I like to hide them in my sleeves. But yeah, this, like I said, I wear it, but it is very dense and heavy. And just holding up this way, I can feel the weight of it compared to some of the other ones. So yeah, I would never make another summer weight sweater. Winter would have been fine, but another summer weight sweater in shell stitch, no. This is a pattern. This is called Titmouse. That's the name of the yarn. It was a merino silk cashmere, I believe, that Knit Picks had years ago. They only had one skein per subscription box instead of the normal 2 because of the fiber content. It was more expensive yarn. It is extremely soft. It's really nice that way. It was supposed to be superwash. Not so much, because the first time I wore this and washed it, it felted. So now it's a little short, but it's still comfortable to wear. I did not use a pattern for this. I kind of did the same thing as the Kalaheo pattern, where I just started at the neckline and I made it in a square. I don't know how well it's going to show up. You can kind of see the increases right along here. I kind of made increases on both sides, almost like a raglan, and then again separated for the sleeves, and then went straight down from there. I had done a lot of it, especially in the chest area, in single crochet because I didn't want it to be see-through. Didn't need to worry about that after it felted because now it's pretty much solid fabric. But here's what it looks like. You can still see the stitches, and it kind of fuzzed up, and it's very soft. It would be perfect for winter. But when it did this, it did make it a heavier, denser fabric. But it's still, it still has a lot of nice drape to it. So yeah, like I said, I kind of went with my own pattern with this. But yeah, the yarn itself was Titmouse. Then I have this shirt. It's called the Chamisol. It is an Annie's signature pattern from Annie's craft store, so it is paid for. You can probably find it, if I remember rightly, you can find it over on Ravelry too, but it's not a free pattern, but I do like this pattern. I actually have another sweater made out of this, a little summer tee made out of it. It's in the dirty clothes right now and smelly, so I didn't want to show that because it's been hanging out in the laundry basket for a few days. It needs to get washed. But it was made out of, let's see. It was made out of this Brava stripe, but in golds. And I have worn it before on the show. This particular yarn was cotton yarn I got from Ice Yarns, and it was like separate skeins, and I just kept blending them back and forth till it's striped. But the thing I like about this pattern is this little detail in the front right here. It's just very, very feminine looking. It's very flowy. I do wish the sleeves were a little bit longer. The one I made in the gold, I did intentionally make the sleeves longer because I just remember these were kind of short. But yeah, I have worn this thing. It's almost kind of worn out because the cotton's starting to wear at the bottom. In fact, I've got some threads I need to weave in. At the bottom of it, I did do a little detail here just to pretty it up a little bit, and I did the same on the sleeves. So, and I did a little crocheting along the collar too, just to make it look pretty. So, because I do not like my collars to go out too far, so sometimes if I make a sweater and it's out too far, I actually will crochet or pick up stitches and pull it in some so it fits better around the neck. So I don't like to be constantly pulling out or have my straps show. So this is, again, Annie's signature. It's called Chamisol. It's like camisole, but it's C-H-A-M-S, no, C-H-A-M-I-S-A-L. So Chamisol. And it's by Lena Svagerson. But yeah, this pattern is a really nice one, and I do like it, and it's also an easy one to do. This one was a Expression Fiber Arts pattern, and this yarn, I do remember the color of it. It was called Barn Roof. No. Okay, I don't remember the title, the name of this, but it was a knit crate yarn, and it is a linen. And the pattern had you knitting, and you incorporated the sleeves in it, and then when you got down to the body, then you just did solid knitting around it. You know, you decreased coming in here. I messed up on this one. Let's see if I can find where I messed up. Yes, because Katrina did the increases on this side for my sleeves, and on this side I messed up. So I had to piece in a piece right here. I mean, I know where to look for it, but unless you're looking for it, you wouldn't notice it. I always tend to put it in the back so that way I don't see it. But like I said, unless you were really looking for it, it wouldn't hopefully stand out. But I do not remember the name of it. I keep thinking it was something with a P, Perseporus, something like Perseporus. I forget. It's something along those lines, but yeah. So anyway, this was an Expression Fiber Arts. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is, actually the next two I'm going to show you are my own kind of patterns. I kind of went as I did it as I went, and I just adjusted it. This is 2 rectangles put together. No, it's not 2 rectangles. Yeah, it's basically 2 rectangles. I started at the bottom, I went around and around. I got to where the armholes were, I split it, knit up the front, knit up the back, and sewed it at the top. And then I crocheted along the bottom to give it a little flare. And then I put beads along the collar right here. And I love this yarn. I have 3 shirts in this yarn. It was a bamboo. I don't think you can even get it anymore. It was a bamboo from, I think, Lana Grossa, and then I combined it with another solid yarn in the same color. So this one is the same yarn. This one is the same yarn, and the next one I'm going to show you are the same yarn, just in different colors. But I love it. It is soft. It does hold up pretty good washing wise. I've had these for quite a few years at this point. This one is super comfortable because it is way too big. So it's just, yeah, very comfortable and oversized, as you can see, but yeah. So the last one in this particular color is the gray version of it. And this one, again, was kind of my own design. I did the same thing as I did with the blue. I started at the bottom, I got it up to the under sleeves, I split the front from the back, and then I knit up the front and the back and attached them at the top. And this one I also put beading around the top with it. And I also crocheted the edges. This one is pretty much like the blue one I just showed you, just not as wide. This one fits actually really perfect. The other one's a little big. And here's what the bottom of this one looks like. But yeah, I love this material. It is so soft. It's very drapey. It's comfortable. Yeah, it's perfect. So yeah, those are those 3 out of that same yarn. The last one I'm going to show you, I showed this on Saturday and I was almost finished. I just had to work on, I believe it was the arm. I finished it. I put it on, and it was absolutely huge. Almost 2 of me could wear it. No wonder it took me so long to keep going around and around and around. I don't blame it on the pattern. I think what happened is the pattern was made in cotton. This is in acrylic. This is in Brava acrylic yarn from Knit Picks. And it's very stretchy, as you can see. So even though I followed the pattern, of course, because it's acrylic, it really, really stretched out. So I fixed it. I actually sewed 2 seams. I put it on, measured what I needed. I put 2 seams, one going down the arm and all the way down the side, and I sewed it down twice to make sure I caught all the stitches, and then I cut it. Sort of like what you would do with steeking. So this is what the inside looks like. It's all fuzzy, which does not bother me. I wore it the other day and it didn't bother me to have that in there. And you can see it's not gonna pull apart. From this side, you can't really tell that I did anything. But yeah, I cut off almost 10 inches, 5 inches off each side. That's how big it was. Katrina knitted a tent. But yeah, it's very comfortable. I wore it the other day to church, and it now fits the way it's supposed to fit. And yeah, if you want to see what this looks like before I did the cutting off, make sure you stay tuned to tomorrow's video, because I will insert a little clip of how big this was before I fixed it. So yeah, so that is my latest finished tee. I am done making short-sleeved knitted and crocheted tees for the summer. We're going to be concentrating on a gray cardigan that you guys helped me pick out the pattern for, and so that's going to be my next project. And then I will start into my summer or my winter sweaters that I'll be working on, which that'll be an upcoming video as well once I finish the cardigan. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the regular Saturday podcast. And if you want to see what this really looked like before I cut it apart, you can do that. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. Bye, everybody.